Seahawks have beaten the Jags. Dolphins have beaten the Chargers. Rams and Ravens are tied. Hey there.
Them bones gonna walk around. Them bones gonna walk around. Them bones gonna walk around. Now hear the word of the Lord.
Good morning and welcome back. It's the early morning Sunday show. The show that's preferred by cool people from around the world. So cheers. That makes you cool. This mug, Motivate from 88. God, it's almost 40. Think about it. It's from 1988. It's almost 40 years old. Got this at a Kmart manager meeting back in 1988. 88, 89, Kmart became the -- retailer in the world. The following year, Walmart took that crown, and Kmart's theme song became The Doors' "This Is the End." That's what happened, man. But it's an antiquer at Kmart. It's probably worth thousands of dollars, maybe more than my record collection right now. Who knows? The opening is a place called Painted Mines out on the plains. Fascinating place. It's like, well, an area we call the Badlands in the United States, which are in South Dakota, North Dakota. Similar kind of thing with erosion, just on a smaller scale, but you're able to go in there and see it. And it was a lot of fun. Very nice hike. There's some birds flying overhead. There's a short snippet of that. You could hear them. Those were sandhill cranes. Really a rare bird. Oh, excuse me. They're migrating south. They always come to Nebraska. All the sandhill cranes come to one spot in Nebraska every year to mate. And they have their dance they do and everything. And thousands and thousands of people come there to North Platte, Nebraska, just to watch some sandhill cranes get it on. I think they put Marvin Gaye on the loudspeaker, play a song "Get It On" or "I Want You," and them cranes, they just start dancing and going at it, man. So yeah, they're all about public sex, which is cool for them. Yeah, it's a cool place. I got I've a lot of video footage to show of Colorado lately, so we'll get to it. I got all winter because eventually it gets so, too cold and I don't head out as much, so we'll see. Not much else going on, and except I got a lot of music to show this week. Yeah, please check out my podcast with Jim Gleason, two guys talking about records, found on Spotify, iHeart, Apple, Facebook, and YouTube at Radio Wasteland Records. This week it's scary album covers. It'll be fun. So take a look at it. It's really been growing well. We've been really happy with it. But this week we're going to take a trip around the world. When I pull my albums for the week, I really don't think of themes. I just try to make it a broader selection. But when I began looking, I go, my God, this is a trip around the world. So buckle up, and because the ride, it's not going to be bumpy. There will be no air turbulence, so it'll be good. So we're going to begin with one of the newest from Analog Africa, Roots Rocking Zimbawaie. Finally getting this shown. The modern sounds of Har Township, 75 to 80. And there's the other side. Look at all that. A lot of people. And we have that hype sticker. If you want me to read it. It came with a wonderful book about Zimbabwe, about the music of Zimbabwe, shall we say. Also about the guy who does Analog Africa, his journey. Zimbabwe is one of the first countries he went to as he began looking to find 45s. And kind of his journeys, then of course about the group. So very nice. There's all of the different Analog Africa that you can find. So about this album, there's nothing special on the vinyl. I'll just show you that. There we go. And this is 2 LPs, 25 tracks. And it's a mix of rumba, funk, and traditional grooves is what you're going to find on here. Influences like up is their neighbor to the north, Zambia, Hendrix, James Brown, Cream. But this is not as hardcore as Zambian. So it's not Zimrock. There's still some good rock in here. I think there's even better funk in here. It has more of a groove without all the distortion and fuzz that you hear in Zimrock. For instance, there's a song called Echoes Limited from the group's called Soul. No, actually, the group's called Echoes Limited, and the song's called Soul Scene. I'll play you a sample. They have James Brown down, man. Just down. Really, really good. See, the difference was Zimbawaie from 75 to 80 was Rhodesia. And Rhodesia was ruled by whites who were not interested in letting the blacks take over. Zambia was free at that time. They had independence. So their radio stations were asking, we need Zambian musicians. We need Zambian bands making music, because they wanted to have 90% of all radio airplay be Zambian bands. So all these bands, especially Zimrock, began to take off. Now, of course, it turned more into disco as it went. You know, Zimrock only lasted really a couple years. But down in, but it wasn't about protest. It was more about, you know, they're going to love stuff like that. Maybe they might praise the government. There was a little bit, but not as much. The difference, though, in Rhodesia, or as they say have on here, Zimbabwe, they have churmarenga music, which means struggle, and it was more protests. It was more social commentary happening because, you know, the Africans were very upset. You know, South Africa had their whole thing in apartheid. Well, so did Rhodesia, and so, you know, that's what you get more on here. They use, you know, more traditional type music that would usually be played on a thumb piano, but instead of the thumb piano, or they adapted to the guitar, and then spiced it up, kind of a Western pop type feel. This is one of the very best analog African albums there is. I have almost every analog African album, and this, I think, is one of the best that I have heard. Well worth looking into. Really good, some really good music on here. I mean, you got 25 tracks, folks. You know, nothing's ever perfect, but I was really impressed by what I heard. Again, it is not Zimrock. It's related to it. There's some similarities, but it's just not quite the same thing. But it's excellent. So if you're looking to, never tried analog Africa and want to try something, this is a really neat one to try. Very enjoyable, extremely good. Very happy to have it. Analog Africa had been putting out a lot of albums. They really slowed down. I mean, I started behind them. Oh, wow. I was working in Cleveland even at the time. So we're going to go to a record store in Cleveland. They had a bunch of Analog Africa in there. And I go, whoa, I can't believe this, because I couldn't find it. And Amazon didn't have it, or I didn't know about buying it off Amazon. I don't know. But yeah, boy, did I buy up that store. It was one of the most disorganized stores. Just piles of stuff everywhere. It was like, oh boy.
My love just to hang on you. Please don't ever leave me alone. Boy, I need your pillow over. Just love you, baby, to break down. Don't ever have to get me to break down.
So, Zimbabwe, Rhodesia. Now let's take a flight. We're going over to Denmark, which Denmark has some of my favorite music. Gosh darn. A lot of it's due to Jacob. Oh man, his channel's there. I'm sorry, Jacob. Hey man, old. This gray hair, there's more going on there. But he's introduced me to a lot of great music out of Denmark, some I've found. But this is Papir, P-A-P-I-R, Papir. Maybe saying it wrong. We'll get over it. We'll talk about this one first. They're out of Denmark. I absolutely love this. It's psychedelic space rock. It's a trio playing. And very much semi-improvisational. So we got a nice little other cover, and the album, here it is. This came out, this Papir, this came out in 2022. It is number 7 because that's how they do it. And for those of you, if someone wants to download that and enjoy space rock done right, there you go. It's instrumental. It's just this instrumental journey that all of their albums are. They're just these wonderful spacey soundscapes that they create. So number 7 came out in 2022, and this has a very relaxed type atmosphere going on. I would call it almost like meditative space rock. It's built on synthesizers, kind of led by a krautrock type feel. But they're lengthy jam sessions. There is only 4 songs on here, and side 1 is 1 song in itself, 7.1. Now side 2, you got 7.2, 7.3, and 7.4. They don't even bother giving you a name on it, man. You just put it on and you enjoy. It's soft, dreamy, ethereal, ambient, great. Absolutely love this Papir. I think just a very neat group. I generally have to order that out of Europe. I can't find them in the U.S. But it's only my second one from them, and I would definitely get more. But that's a really good one because I sound sampled everything. But then this one, this was VCLT from my buddy Jim Gleason. 2 guys talking about records. Don't forget Sunday. The Paper Moon Sessions, and Papir meets Electric Moon. He had this come into his shop, kind of listened to it, but he knew that one person would really get excited about this, and he was right. Look at that, almost a vertical swirl type thing on clear view. Vinyl. This was originally done in 2013, the Paper Moon Sessions. Again, it was a collaboration with a group called Electric Moon. It's long, immersive psych rock is what happens on here. There's only 3 tracks, and they're just space jams. 3 very cool space jams. And the thing is with Papir, they're not hit makers. They're trip makers. There you go, Michael. It might be perfect for you. Michael just recently had a video on music to get stoned to. Bing, 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 bing. I don't know. Please buy one, Michael, and let me know, because I'm not going to be getting stoned. But there's some beautiful the drumming. It's just really almost trance-like, fuzzy guitars, drenched solos, cool stuff. Papir out of Denmark, very nice. let's front. Now we're just going to have a little short journey to our next destination after we get the cup of coffee. Alrighty, over to England, to another favorite group I talk a lot about, the Bevis Frond. And the Bevis Frond is basically solo work of Nick Solomon, especially the early 80s stuff. He did have a band, but a lot of his albums were just purely done as solo. This is Bevis Frond, In Through the Looking Glass, for those of you that do not read that well or just want me to say it, in hopes that I will massacre it. This is a 2-album set, and it comes with, there we go, about 18 months ago, just blah blah from Bevis or Nick Solomon. And then kind of cool, we got some different albums that can be bought. This is an original, and it came out, I believe, 1988. So what this does is this captures a lot of the early songs. I mean, he began writing songs as early as 1967 at age 14. And in fact, there's even a song from here during that time, Alistair Jones, which is kind of a Paisley pop type feel. Paisley pop. Fun stuff. This album is more for, I would say, Bevis devotees. Ones that really are into Bevis Frond, want to hear how he moved his way up. It's still trippy, it's fuzzy, it's not as good as some of the other albums. Not expensive either. Cool front artwork on there, but I liked it. It's very trippy and fuzzy, but just, to me, not his best. Not bad, but not his best. One of his better ones is Triptych. And Triptych also came out in 1988, and this is a 3 LP set. And there is nothing extra in this one. And label, Cherry Red Records. This is pretty good. On here they have a song that is often put on compilations. Lights Are Changing, and basically it's his nod to the Byrds, and definitely has that Byrds type feel going on, more of the Psych Byrds. A great song. There's Tangerine Infringement Beak, and that goes on for 20 minutes. And it's just a multi-part song. There's great, very interesting keyboard solos. There's a lot of trippy guitars happening, minimal grooves and feedback are going on. Yeah, it's solo. This is Nick Solomon doing solo work. When he would go out, he would get a band to kind of back with him. But he had an accident, and so he was kind of stuck at home. He couldn't go anywhere. But he began creating this music. He had a home studio, and so he just began putting. He had been in some different groups. But this really good album, again, out of 88. I think one of his better ones from the 80s, Triptych. Most enjoyable. Again, his albums don't cost much. This I found at clearance here in town. And this is the Bevis Frond, The Long Stuff. This has blown me away, except that there's a second album on the back there. Sorry about that. There we go. Absolutely loving this album. I have played it a lot. It is live material from 1975 all the way up to 2020. Just different parts, just different songs taken from different concerts. And it is outstanding. I have just been digging this thing. It has a brain on it too. I mean, that's nice. You would think of Blue Matter Records. I think it'd be the Wazow. And so, they're longer songs. You have on the back here where the songs were recorded, what the concerts were. But this is awesome, trippy, spacey guitar solos are happening on here. This is what's going on. It's a great recording, but it really shows his talent. And it doesn't feel live either. Sometimes you hear people. I think people all tripped out, so they weren't screaming or yelling. But it is really phenomenal. I I totally love this thing. You know, some of them are longer jams, 12 minutes, but then there's some that are only 2 minutes. So you kind of get a nice mix, but incredibly good. This thing came out in 2023. 2023. I found it on clearance and scooped that sucker up. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. The long stuff by the Bevis Frond. Chicks here of England. Now let's pop over to the U.S. It'd be a shame. What's more American than the movie Field of Dreams? Found this here in town too. Last one I found at Wax Tracks, and this I found Twist and Shout. And so this has beautiful colored vinyl. It's a nice reissue. There you go. It was on clearance also. And I love this movie, Field of Dreams. It's baseball. So if you don't know baseball, you aren't, you know, but it's just about a man trying to find himself. He's hearing voices. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. And he's learning to be a farmer, which isn't an easy thing to do. And his wife's, they're both like former hippies. And so they go on this search. He goes on this search to find the right people. And they make the baseball diamond. And it's a beautiful, lovely thing. And no one can see these ghosts, because these ghosts of baseball players from the past. Except Ty Cobb's not allowed. And that's good, because Ty Cobb was a jerk. But the ghosts come in to play on this baseball field that he made in his cornfield. And he's going to go bankrupt, and everyone's saying he's insane and he's crazy. And then his daughter chokes on a hot dog, and suddenly she's saved by a ghost, and then everybody sees the ghost, and everybody is happy, and people from all over the world come because he built it, and they came. That's it. There you go. But the music was really good too. So just the soundtrack. I love this movie. It's a feel good movie. It's one that's it's beautiful. Kevin Costner, look at him. He's young and handsome, and yeah. I don't get a lot of soundtracks, but I really like the soundtrack. Baseball had some really good. Baseball makes good movies. You don't get a lot of football movies, hockey movies, but baseball, you do. Finally, let's go to Finland. We're popping over to Finland, and we have Mirel Wagner. And this is When the Cellar Children See the Light of Day. And it's a 2 LPs. Well, she only did 2 LPs. This is only 1 LP. She's from Ethiopia, but she now resides in Finland, because Ethiopia and Finland are known to have very similar climates. Very, very much the same kind of thing. Wow. That's called a change. This, very nice album. And it's older. I don't know if this will work or not, but if it does, I'll give you that. This album, she was born in 87, so this album came out in 2014. It's like dark folk blues, or dark folk blues would be a good way. Think Nick Cave, Mark Lanigan. That's the feel you're going to get. They're more their solo acoustic stuff, but that dark voice, and she has that. Her the lyrics, there's a lot of haunting lyrics on here with just this bare bones instrumentation. A lot of times just her on a acoustic guitar. This is her second album, and she hasn't done any albums since then, from 2014. Death creeps through this album. It's all over the place in here. And her voice can be haunting at times, but not always. She has just a wonderful voice. This is a gorgeous album, but it's a very, very dark album. It's a very minimalistic album, but it's a very interesting album. So Mirel Wagner from Finland. Cool stuff out of Finland. Finland is more than just death metal, Mr. Finglish. No, Mr. Finglish, he's from Finland. He does show a lot of different things. So is Posse. But I really, really like this.
Chewed up lips, milky milk teeth, little bit of pain and a whole lot of need. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's underneath the floor? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can tell you more. A pretty little dream, a locked-jawed scream. Never had to beg, they come to me. I got a big, big heart, lots of love.
And that's what we got for this week. I hope you enjoyed all that. Hope you enjoyed the montage at the beginning. And maybe someday you'll watch Sandhill Cranes dancing and having sex, too. I didn't get to see that part. I just saw them flying way up high in the air, but you could hear them, and that's what they sound like. It's kind of fun. We were just hiking, and what's the sound? What's that sound? What do I hear? Why all this noise? So I have an app that tracks. You hit that and listen to the bird call and tells you what it is. I go, seriously? We're out in the middle of nowhere, and there's Sandhill Cranes out here? Wow. Well, I guess Sandhill Cranes don't live in town, but those are like big lakes. There you go. All right. Well, that was a little blah blah for you. Have yourself a great week. Enjoy yourself. Motivate in 88. Yeah. It's antique. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one. Bye.